Hello everyone, back to today's third and final video. We're doing the 5th Christmas update for today's third and final video. So, I'm going to have a bit of fun and look at the CFS V2 9 monthly forecast to see what it's showing for Christmas and New Year as well. For this 5th Christmas update. So I'll get up for you very shortly and explain what the model is and where we're at. So I'll do that very shortly. Just say that the 5-day forecast was released as the first video up today, and then we had a week 10-day video update as well. That video is on the homepage at gazweathers.com, including all of the regular features. So we are at metroceo.fr and we're using the CFS V2 9 monthly forecast generated midday yesterday, 12th November. There's always a 24-hour delay on the charts going through. We always use a midday run for no particular reason, and that's the one we pick at random. It's run 4 times a day, but it shouldn't make any difference particularly which run you use. It's just best if you can always keep referring to the same run over and over. And then if any particular scenario comes out, we can't be told off for cherry picking. It's purely the way that the charts are coming out as we are doing the updates. Of course, we can't pin down the weather in detail to Christmas at the moment. It's far too far away for that. So we just need the trend, see if we can find the trend within the CFS V2 model. We haven't had a trend yet. The first updates that we've done, the first 4, have all been significantly different to one another. So we'll see in a moment what this latest update, the 5th Christmas 2019 update, has to say very shortly. Just say you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, then please can you go to the Gaz Christmas shop at gazweathers.com and then click through the Amazon banners when you're there, or use the Amazon search widget, search out any particular item that you want to buy. By doing that, by going from Gazweathers to Amazon, either through the banners or through the search widget, we would get a revenue fee on things that you are purchasing. So you're not doing anything differently. You're still doing your shopping at Amazon, and that's where you will buy your Christmas presents as well. It's just brilliant fact that you go from our website to their website. That means we get a revenue fee on the things that you buy for Christmas. And a big thank you to everybody for doing that again this Christmas for Gazweathers. Right, so we're at metroceo.fr, looking at the CFS V2 9 monthly forecast, midday run, generated midday yesterday. We're starting on the 1st of December. And it's looking rather mild and dry for this 5th Christmas update. We've got high pressure over to the south of the UK. Low pressure is out to the north and west. We're in generally a mild west-south-westerly flow. Reasonable amount of dry weather and also quite mild. Let's run through and see what happens. So we're going through the first week of December, and we've got high pressure influences here. High pressure dominating across much of the country. It is trying to ridge a bit further northward, so trying to get itself up towards Scandinavia. However, there's quite a strong jet stream running in from the Atlantic to the north of Scandinavia, so that's going to sort of limit the potential to take that high pressure north. Just mainly dry and probably turning increasingly cold and frosty, I would have thought, under this area of high pressure moving through the first week of December. We're up to the 4th of December with high pressure dominating the weather. Let's see how long this ridge lasts for. Well, not much longer actually. We're up to the 6th of December now. That high pressure has been broken down by low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. So we end the first week of December on an increasingly wet, windy and quite stormy note actually. Up to the 8th of December now, and gale force winds are blasting across the country, have taken outbreaks of rain through the country as well, and we're bringing quite a cold, strong west to northwesterly wind, and that will probably be bringing gale or severe gale force winds to northwest part of the country, and I would have thought the chance of wintry showers as well in northern and western regions. Looking quite stormy. Then we bring this next low in, real battering from that one. Look at that. That's severe gales up to storm force winds with that low pressure there on the 10th of December. That looks really, really nasty. Very, very windy indeed, and again heavy rain will drive in with that, followed by cold west-northwest winds and lots of showers as well. So very stormy here as we go into the early part of December with this 5th Christmas update. Up to the 12th of December now, this is the day of a general election, of course, and the next low is rattling in. That's giving us some pretty nasty weather too, lots of heavy rain coming in with that, so not a particularly inspiring weather scene to get people out to vote. And on the northern side of that low will probably be a chance of snow as well, so rain, gale force winds and snow lashing the country there for the general election. Beyond that, heading up to the middle of December, we slacken the winds off. So we're losing those very, very nasty gale or severe gale force winds. And are going to be colder as well. That low pressure sort of slipping away to the east and allowing a slight transient bump of high pressure to build in there. And the winds coming down from the north. So turning a bit drier and colder as we get to the middle of December. Probably with some overnight frost, but any ridge attempt, it looks like its days are numbered, because look at this next big low pressure in the Atlantic. That's only going in one direction, and that's going to give us another battering, I would have thought, as we go into the second half of the month. So now we're up to the 18th of December. We're back to wet and windy weather with low pressure to the north and gale force winds and quite heavy rain too. Right, let's try and get to Christmas then. So we're on the 19th of December. We're building a little bit of a ridge up across France, but deep low pressure is again out in the Atlantic to the west of Ireland. And so we're moving up towards Christmas, and it's still looking wet and windy, very mild here on the 22nd of December. A long fetch southwesterly wind dragging up really mild air to England and Wales in particular, still quite unsettled up across Scotland. Moving to Christmas Eve, that's how we're looking for the 5th Christmas update. Christmas Eve is looking unsettled. It's mild, very mild actually. Winds are up from the southwest, but low pressure is gathering again out in the Atlantic. That looks like it's probably going to be bringing another bout of heavy rain and strong winds in across the country. And that's indeed what happens. So this is Christmas Day, and low pressure is in control for Christmas Day on the 5th Christmas update, bringing outbreaks of rain in from the Atlantic, possibly gale force winds to Scotland and Northern Ireland. It's a relatively mild Christmas Day. Winds are in from the west, so there's no problems with temperatures, relatively mild, but probably quite a bit of rain. And for the northwest, also looking really quite windy. Boxing Day looks like that. A little bit more interesting for Boxing Day with this southerly tracking area of low pressure. But there's some relatively cold air on the northern edge of that low pressure, so that could bring rain or potentially a little bit of snow in towards the south. However, this is not a cold update at all, this 5th Christmas update. This is all Atlantic driven stuff, so it is relatively mild. And we're moving up towards New Year now, and it's turning increasingly unsettled again as low pressure rattles in from off the Atlantic. So we're back to square one, really heading up towards the new year. Heavy rain, gale force winds potentially wrapped around that area of low pressure, just really, really unsettled. And this could be, if this was to come off, it will probably be Christmas of flooding and also of gales, unfortunately. That's how we look on the first day of January, first day of 2020, New Year's Day. Low pressure is to our east. We're pulling in this rather colder northwest wind around this area of low pressure, so cold and a little bit showery, maybe some windiness in the showers over northern hills. That low pressure clears away to the east by the 2nd of January, and then we do actually get a little bit of a ridge of high pressure. I haven't seen much of high pressure during this update, but a little bit colder and drier there under that ridge through the opening days of January. I'll just run you through the first sort of couple of weeks, and it's very quickly back to unsettled weather again. So that ridge is quickly broken down by the 6th of January. After 12th night, we are back into wet and windy weather, and the Atlantic is unleashed then. Through the first half of January, we just keep these areas of low pressure rattling in. No break from them, really, just continuously wet, windy and stormy right way into the second half of January. So it doesn't get much more of an Atlantic onslaught update than that. From beginning to end, the Atlantic is just throwing everything and the kitchen sink too at us, and it's really quite nasty at times with loads and loads of heavy rain and plenty of gales and severe gale force winds at times too. The plus side is relatively mild. It's all driving in from the Atlantic, so there's one or two cold snaps in there for a day or so, but basically it's a mild but also very wet and very windy 5th Christmas update. Very significantly different from the last update, I think we say, but we still don't have a trend here within the CFS. It's going from ideas to ideas as we go from updates to updates. So no trend, and this one we file it as a very wet, windy, and Atlantic driven, about as Atlantic driven as it gets actually, 5th Christmas update. Right, we'll do it all over again on Saturday. That's when the 6th Christmas update will be released. So we'll see what the CFS V2 has to say on Saturday. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.